Very good. Is the frequency in use? Doesn't sound like it's in use. This is K4P. Fine. Your first obligation is to call 911 or reach us here. Break in at any time for that. For information on this net, you can see us on YouTube right now, or you can look it up under Brain Trusts. It's one word. 146.415.net. 146.415.net. Very similar to our frequency. Look us up on groups.io. That's GRUPS decimal India Oscar. And look up MJSS. That's ARRL.net. Does anybody have need any fill on any of that stuff? All righty. Well, we'll conduct a net on 140.415 FM Simplex. Purpose of the net is support and have fun. Ham radio operators. Just good time with like-minded people. Happy with doing fun stuff on the radio. Process we end up upgrading. Peer pressure does it. And listening to ourselves on the net and comparing ourselves as we displayed here on the YouTube thing, so you can see how you compare to other people. You can also hear if you can't hear us on the air. If you can't hear us on the air, then you need to improve your antenna. Where was I? Oh yes, we invite everyone to use the net for amateur radio events, training, etc., and in support of the community. And of course, today's Saturday. My announcements are that today SwindleNet, as well as the 144.240 Apollo. Then we've got there's two nets coming up on Tuesday night. Simplexnet Tuesday night at 7:30, and then the 8 o'clock. But I sent it out on a reminder, so you'll see that. That's the W4EAO emergency preparedness. Does anybody have any questions about those or corrections? I do send it out on the. Okay, hold on one second. I'm not sure how to fix it. Tell you in a second if I can fix it. All righty, that's interesting. I've got a way to do that. Trying to do it so it's not back. You're gonna have to settle for backwards, I think.
Maybe put a mirror in front of
it. That is funny that it's backwards though, because it's. There we go. Now I got it. I don't know why it would do that though. That's kind of funny. Just got to get it back so it's a little close. Hang on, bear. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what the scoop is here. I need it on a taller poster. Hold on. Well, at the moment, that's about as good as it gets. Let's move on. You can see the screen anyway, right? Just a little crooked. All right, very good. That's funny because I thought I had all those settings saved from being seen and connected with what's heard. Is the audio okay? I thought so. I'd ask since the other one was screwed up.
Sounds good.
All right. This is net number 544, and we're starting from the south. 544, starting from the south. And of course, today's 14th, and we had a nice breakfast this morning. Also, we had I think 12 people there. We had a good time was had, but I think most of us anyway. I don't know everybody went away unhappy or without enough coffee. So appreciate people who show up at the meetings. It makes for a lot more. When Santa came by to see us, man, it was a real Santa-looking guy. I guess he parade in the Mount Juliet Christmas festivities over at Charlie Daniels Park. So I'm not sure what was going on there. He really did look like a Santa with a white beard, white hair, and kind of chubby. All right, very good. Let's see, what else do we want to talk? Well, we're going to start taking check-ins from the south end. It's K4PEW. Taking check-ins south of 40. Please come in. Hey, you just dumping right away, didn't it? Very good, Terry. How you doing?
Sorry I didn't make it to the breakfast again this morning. I plan on kind of going this week, and I had a little better. The throat's getting sore, so I think I'm going to make it. Hope I caught it good early, and I don't think it's anyway. It's a weekend there, and see you enjoying that rest. And everybody have a good rest of the weekend. Enjoy yourself. Victor, back to you there, Paul.
Yeah, it's a pretty radio. It really is. It's not that it matters that it's pretty or good looking, as long as it works. Features. So if later on the sideband that I screw up, you'll understand. I don't think. Well, very good, Terry. Good to have Terry in there. That's Terry Kilo November 4 Mike Papa Victor, and he's in Murfreesboro. Who else we? For the Kilo 4 Quebec Papa Romeo first. I think that's Russ, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Hey, Russ, haven't heard you in a few days. So you doing all right?
Roger that.
Yeah, I know my at some point it's double time. And then if you have, but I forget when that comes in. See, that's almost, well, that's why they call it penalty. It's a penalty on the employer. They have to pay out $75 an hour. Handle and mail, We limit overtime.
They don't use temporary people or anything like that?
The plant, no. In fact, the plant, I just quickly said they system, whereas pretty soon I wouldn't be surprised at some point.
Yeah, and then
it would be definitely.
Will do.
All right, very good, Russ. That's Russ, and he's in Laverne. Papa Romeo. He'll be able to hear everybody. Everybody will be able to hear him. I'm confident of it. Hey, Bill, you doing okay?
Just terrific. Things can't hardly get much better.
That's good. Even yeah, I mean, it really is funny how, especially in this weather, people go, "Oh, it's cloudy." It's the news. It's a dreary day, and I go, "I don't know what world you live in, but it doesn't make it dreary just because it's cloudy."
They would look at the positive, it would multiply out how much better it is.
Well, there's nothing really dreary about. I mean, I'll say this simply said: you can't let the weather.
Well, in this modern age, if it rains, we've got rain suits and boots. So we're pretty well equipped for any climate.
Yeah, and cars that actually have gaskets on the windows and doors.
Yeah. Anything new to really talk about. So I'll turn on back to the net, Paul. Everybody have.
Yeah, very good. That was Bill. That's Kilo Mike for November Yankee. Great signals always out of Murfreesboro. Who else?
Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
Hey, it was good to see you at the breakfast this morning, Larry.
To be there.
Yeah, it's a good crowd. And I know you wanted to beat that traffic out of there because it's parade.
Yeah, they were starting to stage up pretty good.
Yeah, they were. Everything else going on?
Yep, everything's good here, man. We'll let you get on with it.
Yeah, appreciate showing up. You have to travel a fairly good distance. You're going to have to see if you can't get Preston. Well, he's near Rockville anyway, to show up.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
All right, sounds good. That was Larry, Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor in Rockville. Who else, South?
4 TYJ.
Hey, man, you must be busy. I haven't heard you all day. How's your day off?
How much rather have gone to work? I've switched the TV around, moved.
Oh, I see. You were going to let her pick her up, or she was going to do. Yeah, it sounds like.
I was in the queue, so hey guys, I gotta go. So I just went and played Uber. Yes, sir. You have it. So the breakfast today, but I made breakfast. I was with you all in spirit.
Yeah, I understand. And like I said, we don't have any rules. It's if people don't show up, it's their loss.
I
Kilo Echo 4. Who else? South.
K4 ID.
Robin. I was going to procrastinate and wait till tomorrow to talk to
Until the last minute to do something, and it only takes a minute.
you. Make a list of what you want to get done the next day. You do it the previous day, and you always put the hardest thing.
My wife let me.
There you go.
Takes a minute.
Anyway, so how you doing, Robin?
I'm well, thanks. The tree is up and decorated and in its proper place. How is it? Great, we're half done. She says, "What do you mean?" Of course, I explained.
Yeah, I'm with you. You a new one.
Oh no, same ornaments. Well, we get some new ones every year. So that's why we need such a big, because when we travel, she always buys Christmas ornaments from places like that. Hey, Paul.
You, Ellen?
You don't get new ones, you just get.
There you go. You got it. I know as a kid, it was the same old one. It was fewer every year because those glassy ones kept busting.
And we only broke about 2 or 3 this time.
That were made out of lead. Did you ever use those stringy ones? We saved them every year because they were,
No, but this explains a lot.
It does. It does. I ingested much of it. No, I'll have to look that up, see if we can find them. Well, very good, Robin. Good to have you in there. That's Kilo 4 India. Good to see you this morning. Soaking up the Fellowship of Hams. What is called Hermitage. Who else south? Please come on. Over to the east then.
G4 TW.
Oh, all right. Now, how you doing, Wes?
Doing good. Had fun this morning. All is well. Hope you, buddy. Gloomy.
Oh, it's not gloomy. It's just not as you don't have to. It's a good day. You don't have to wear sunglasses.
Well, that's one way to put it, but no, everything's good over here. Nothing to report from eastern Wilson County, KE.
Tonight. I mean, it's not great, but it's very.
Maybe my tower grew a few inches. I don't know.
I don't know why it would be better tonight, but it certainly does sound pretty good. All right, very good, Wes. That's West Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India, Watertown, or northwest of Watertown, I believe. Anybody else south? I'm sorry, east, east of Mount Juliet. Please come in.
Lead poisoning.
There you go. Anybody else east? Okay. WD4BWC. Isn't that correct? Did I get it right there, right? And I'm getting good after a couple of years, aren't I?
Doing fine.
Well, though today, and it wasn't.
Complaint.
No. And your ex-wild?
Yeah, she's doing fine.
Excellent. Well, very good. East, please come in.
Okay.
Forgot what you said about your 2-meter antenna. Which one are you using?
Yes.
And it's a 2-meter only, isn't it?
Roger.
Yeah.
I have some obstacles that are in the way in some directions from here.
I'm sure you do. A ridge at 109. I don't remember if you had. Now I recall perfectly. It's had that 2-meter only hospital. Yeah, again.
Yeah,
Roger, Roger. I was kind of surprised. My young works at the Cracker Barrel there, Mount Juliet. I took the little handheld GPS I have, and when I went up there, when you go Mount Juliet Road north, you get up there right past where the exit is, and it's over 7.
Yeah, exactly. It's that's right, probably at the front of the that Exxon station is where or McDonald's right at that entryway there. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Below that, when you look west, a quarter mile or so.
Yeah, that hill that's coming right through there, it's kind of in the way from some of the things that's coming from the west. And I hear some folks, not too many folks further south.
Yeah, I got you. Well, very good. I'm glad to hear it, Stan. Yeah, again, our elevation issues, and there's not much you can do to change that unless you have a lot of money to put in a multi-100-foot tower. I don't think any of us are really prepared to do that. Anyway, that was Stan. Kilo Mike 4, Hotel Quebec Echo, just a little bit north of downtown Lebanon. And yeah, good to have you in there, Stan. Who else?
And 4 in YA. Good evening, Paul.
I email I sent.
Yeah, pretty much so. I think it did. It seemed reasonable.
Well, it's reasonable because you did a fine job of essentially the things that need to get done so the county can do their job. And obviously, anybody can use the trailer, including any volunteers that are able to work it. I think that you can have an agency as a club that can perform as well squad or an EMS squad or a National Guard or the FEMA group is just silly.
Yeah, we're volunteers. We're not paid professionals. Sort of on the side. So to us that we're looking for near future.
Great, that's great. No, it's you don't see what I'm getting. I wasn't volunteers and the official ones when there's and when you go through all of like hospital, etc.
If a disaster hit, I'd have to pull the books out and go through it again. If that just a plethora boggling.
Well, that's kind of what I was alluding to. Volunteers, you can help, but you're doing that help in the direction of others because volunteers don't know what they want me to do. We're just as volunteers, we're just servants.
Yeah, that's true. And serve you. You tell us what you want us to do, and we will do our best to do it.
And we can't get the cart in front of the horse, as far as volunteers, and thinking we're the savior of the emergency communications world, because the fact is, serve other agencies. We're not the agency.
Yeah, correct. We're not the agency at all. We just try to do what we're asked to do and hope we can contribute in some.
Oh yeah, no, and I would say that in a lot of cases it's standing by because the agencies have control. It's when and we're really the backup for a lot of things. If we can help, that's great too. Like manning shelters, that the man and communicated shelters, that kind of a thing, because that's just as important. Keeping track of people and medical needs at a shelter.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not something you can always get. You leave the really important stuff to the professionals and let volunteers handle the shelters. Just because it's a priority having the professional for the heavy lifting, and we'll just try to provide as much support as we can.
Oh, I know, and being prepared for that, I know. It's no different than the Boy Scouts or the military. You're just ready to do something. You don't necessarily. The byword when I was in the Boy Scouts was be prepared, and that's kind of the same. It should be the same standard for emergency service communicators that are volunteers. It's just a matter of being prepared and the hope that you never have to use it. Anyway, Dale, it was good to have you in there. you guys are doing that trailer, and I have good reports. I can't wait to see it when the inside's done. So make sure to take some. November Yankee Alpha, and that's Dale. He's the EC there in Wilson County over in Lebanon. He is in Lebanon. So who else? Going up to the north then.
KJ4HNB.
Yeah, I got to write them both down. Doing today? Good to hear you in there, Zoe.
She's rambling right now.
Oh, I heard it. I heard it. So how you doing, Ray?
Oh, we're just getting back.
I go okay?
Oh yeah. Just I'm gonna strangle that little 13-year-old grandson of mine when he gets home. Anyway, she can't take no picking, and they'll find me when they want me.
Very good. Well, I'm glad you got home safe anyway. Drivers.
Just I don't know. Staying there no more.
Yeah.
It's KJ4HNZ.
Oh yeah, no. The J didn't look like a J, and I said, well, did I write it down wrong, or it's anyway? Good to have you in there. It was Kilo Juliet 4 Golf Mike Romeo, and that's Ray, and Kilo Juliet 4 Hotel November Whiskey Oscar 4. Before, didn't we talk recently?
There, Paul. Name on the tin is Scott. Sierra Charlie Oscar Tango Tango Scott. Brian Springs. Fairly close to Dennis. I know you know Dennis.
Oh yeah, I do remember that call, but I'm trying to remember where I knew it from. Maybe that's where you checked in with them.
One, AC4SR, the WO4E. I know we talked actually for quite a while. I was mobile.
Yes, hold on.
3 weeks ago on a Friday or something like that, and I just happened to jump on the Simplex frequency, and you were about all kinds of stuff. I don't even remember what it was, but I mean, wasn't anything significant, usual stuff there.
Yeah, world peace and nuclear, denuclearization and feeding everybody on the planet. No, I remember. I presumed you had checked in once before, at least maybe one more than once on that call.
Yeah, I checked in more than once, but it's been a little bit. So yeah, I thought I'd check in this evening down here in the shack, and the Vanderbilt game, and they're actually getting beat by Liberty, but I don't even know where from, but Vandy's getting beat by them. Well, 1 point now. So
Yeah, well, I don't know how good Liberty's program is, but I'm guessing.
Well, they're usually pretty good, and it's 49-48, Liberty winning. It's a big one to watch.
Oh, what period is it in?
Well, and it's 50 seconds left in the half, and that's the last half, so it's not too much more to go.
Yeah, well, a lot of things can. Well, very good, Scott. That's Whiskey Oscar 4 Echo. He's in the. And I got 3 people up in Castellian Springs. Dennis and you, and I forget the other fellow's call, but there's 3 of you up there.
Okay, yeah, very good, Paul. Everybody on the net, and hope everybody has a good, safe weekend. Stay warm and dry.
Yeah, very good. That's Whiskey Oscar 4 Echo Scott in Castellian Springs. Excellent signal. He was, if anybody cared to note it. Oh, so how's it going, Mark? Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you, Paul.
Make him a criminal.
I'm going to ship him a scanner.
Scanners in New York in vehicle?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's odd because many municipalities.
Well, the digital modes are legal to receive as long as they're not encrypted. It's illegal to try to listen to them. That's here everywhere. But checks up there. But he says if there's someone in radio and is bringing you Bloomberg,
that does. You know, it's just ridiculous laws. Just ridiculous. You know, just these are city dwellers that aren't very fit. They're actually a lot of city dwellers that are fit because they got to walk long distance, and to wherever they're going in buildings, and it's not an easy. It's a whole lot easier getting around here in your car. Well, I would say only 10% of people in Manhattan even own cars, so they got to walk.
That when you was growing up, you had icicles, some type of artificial looking icicles with the contents or the composite was made out of lead. Maybe that explains it.
Oh, I think New York City area for sure. Too much lead paint, man. Everybody's eating
Yeah. Well, I will get out of here and let you carry on, and I'll finish programming the scanner and ship it to New York. And I don't know. I probably ought to put a box of ammo in there with it.
No, you need to send. Don't even send him a weapon or a box of ammo. Just send him a magazine that exceeds the legal requirement.
Yeah. Is that crazy or what? Anyway, thank goodness I don't live there. Have a good evening, Paul.
Yeah, very good. In fact, when they passed that law, it actually made many of the police weapons illegal as well because it didn't in the law. Anyway, that was Mark, Whiskey Bravo Zero, November, Oscar, and he is West Wilson up in here, the NOAA, the National Weather Service. See, I got that corrected there, Mark. I remembered. Who else north?
WE4E.
Hey, Danny, how you doing? You did a nice job.
Great. I had breakfast in Pittsburgh. That one this week. But yeah, that's he set up pretty nice over there. They had a dipole. It was very conveniently located. It puts the broadside to a couple of pretty good areas. He has worked. Charlie fired the radio up and worked a guy in Colorado. All of a sudden, another young voice on here, hopefully soon.
That's right. You need to get over there because
my guess is it's tuned. It doesn't necessarily mean we could add a 10-meter leg to his fan.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, I was horizontal and I was surprised the 10-meter sideband. I get wrapped up, try to find the our newest, youngest hand. So when are we going to get pictures of the completed?
In there, the radios are in there, but we're getting possibly some better ones and some more. Already has it.
Oh, does it really? That's awesome.
Oh, come on now. It's for official reasons now.
Matter of making sure that everybody knows how to.
And anyone can do it. That would be called out, but good chance, very light.
Yeah, and you all need to, if you can, bring that thing to the next Lebanon Ham Fest.
Oh yeah, we're gonna invite all of them, as many of the local around here agencies that have trailer, and have them all come out, kind of like its own little thing.
Yeah, it'd be like a roundup.
Yeah, there's there's ham radio out here, but yeah, I get what you're saying, and I agree with what you were saying. But a lot of it from dealing with what's going on, it's not so much something happens here, but like for example, when they had the fires out there, they would actually call for volunteers from here to go all the way out to Knoxville.
And again, that's one of the deals where volunteers be able to be available to man that thing essentially 24 hours if they go out to 2.5 hours away.
Okay, good. We could have used something. We could have used more of these when we had all the problems out east.
Well, one of the difficulties I had with, they're doing fine. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't trying to be super critical of them, but you can get carried away. They said that they financed the trailer themselves, and you go, well, what happens as the club changes and or people, people. Who's gonna? Where's the trailer going? Who's gonna take care of it? Who's got the liability? Who's got the truck? Who's got all these things have to be managed on a volunteer.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like a repeater. I guess that'd be kind of like a club or something.
They made a point of saying everything they had was self-financed. No county, state, federal, nothing. There's no money. And you think, well, I just know that one of the best parts about our club is since there's no dues, there's nothing to manage besides your own stuff. Minor soap opera, with a club. What we've developed accidentally and on purpose is a whole slew of hams that are all the agencies in the area because we end up having better systems.
Oh, absolutely, and it doesn't work without the guys in the community. Guys in the trailers, they need to have somebody else. So, but it's anyway, it's good, and just doing this net and practicing and that's all contributing to the same thing. It's just a different way. It'll work. I'm not retired. So I help by trying to help. But will I be the one that can manage 24 hours? I try to do my part.
Oh no, absolutely. They want to communicate on a volunteer basis are an adjunct to those all the other first responders and all the employees of the state, county, et cetera. But as volunteers, Frank is in Northwest Wilson County. Good signal as always, Frank. No one else north. Moving over to the west then.
WY4G.
Hey, how you?
I'm tired, man. I was about 1:30 this morning to work today, so fatigued, but I'm here.
Man, you were up at 1:30, you said?
Yeah, woke up, couldn't go back to sleep, so I've been up.
Oh, wow. I've done that quite a bit in my old age, but I forced myself to lay and eventually go back to sleep. But you couldn't do that. Wow.
No, once I wake up like that, I'm used to waking up 1:30 to it. Well, I usually set my clock at 2 and get up in the morning for work, but a lot of times I just wake up early and I can't go back to sleep. So
Yeah, I know the deal. I really do. It's heck getting old.
yeah, but it's just I deal with it.
Oh yeah. So.
Hey Jeff, I'm I'm used to it, so go with the flow.
Yeah, what'd you have to say, Alan?
I was going to tell Jeff next time he has an issue like that, insomnia, whatever, YouTube and put in William Tell Overture in C minor and just put next to telephone. I guarantee you'll fall asleep.
Or he can just go to YouTube and turn on the net. He'll be back.
So I'm used to it. To that, so just one of those things.
No, I got it. I know what you're saying. Well, you've got a job that requires you work.
Yes, I did. My part-time job. So it's just it just seems like to me it's just if I didn't do it, crazy. So it's just something to do.
I got you. Well, thank God for some. Sleep in tomorrow.
I'll wake up probably about 2 or 3 in the morning. That's what I usually do. If I sleep to 4, I'm
sleeping about 30 seconds.
No, sleeping into me.
Now, you got a great signal as always. Or west, excuse me, west.
Building the run the wires and get those all hooked up. And bad weather coming up on Monday. I don't think I want to leave it up. I just put a picture up. It's on the very bottom of my.
If you have to, you can always hang clothes from her to dry them out.
Yeah.
At Haxby, I'm told it's very.
Yeah, it works really good. 40 foot's a little lower. they work good at low heights, and having two elements on 40 meters is a game changer. I mean, it's just nothing hooked up to it yet, but that's the one for up here, 2 meters high.
Yeah, that'll be good. I can't lie. I hope you hear good reports out of it because you ought to do dandy with that. How much power do you have on that you can put on that hex beam?
1,300 watts.
Oh man, yeah. So you make me go to 1,500. Huh?
Well, the price difference was kind of substantial for these solid state amps. It was like $1,500 more. It was a lot, and it was I could have was over the budget I had allotted, and I promised myself I would go over. And I didn't. And 1,300 watts is more than enough.
Well, not only that, the difference between 13 and 15, what, quarter or a half a decibel or something?
Yeah, if I was going to upgrade, I would go to a 2K. That's a lot of money, but just to have the overhead for running digital and radio, I can actually run legal limit and not have to back the power down. Overhead science, which is why the most I really ever run this amp is a kilowatt. On phone, I'll push it, and it'll do almost 50.
Well, it's nice you got that diversity to mess around with because you don't always have to be at 1,300 on a lot of stations. Well, very good, Don. That's Don in November 4 Delta. I'll try not to, especially the snapping kind. Very good. Who else we got? Wes, please come in.
Number 4 Tango Juliet Foxtrot.
Hey, where's your brother, man? How come he didn't pop in there? Yeah, he's around. Yeah, you doing all right, Rick?
Yes, sir. Big breakfast this morning. Good seeing everybody.
It is. I'm glad you make the trip. At least you make the trip over to Michael's, and then Michael drags you over here, right? Yeah, he's a good bro.
He is, man. He's one of the best. His best brother.
Had some reasonable rates on the gas too.
Yeah, well, he's a little proud.
Oh, very good. How's he coming along with that beam you guys are working on?
Well, it's a little slow going. He's just getting the parts all together. I haven't really started on it, but
it was like, for instance, I have a 5-element beam from MFJ, and I think it was at the time it was $59, and I can't.
5-element, I believe. But I think that's probably
broad on the beam, at least pointing, due east.
But I think it's a lot better chance here, Richard.
Rick, and he's in Ashland City. Good signal, and trying to do better because south he can't hear all this. So working on getting the beam up as well. Well, I say this. You got more seniority than this.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And he has to do what you say. His XYL supervisor would have a debate with him.
That's right. You saw my forehead this morning.
Man, I'm glad that wasn't any worse than that.
Me too. With a bruise and a lump for a day.
Yeah, well, it could have been a lot worse. It's right on, like, for instance, you've seen those people who whack down there around their orbit, and then you get a black eye for about 10 days.
Yeah, so far I've been lucky. It hasn't gotten down into my eye, just right above it. And I expected to have blood dripping from my nose when I got up because I hit right on my right above my right eye.
Yeah, no, I saw it. I didn't. At first I thought you just hadn't washed your face this morning.
At work Thursday asked me if it was Ash Wednesday. She said, "Did you got something black?"
Yeah, except the guy who would administer it was a little off. Well, very good. That's morning. It was good to see him. Who else? Anybody else? West, please come in.
Whiskey 4, Alpha Whiskey Echo.
We're going to change your call to AWOL. How's that?
That would.
Well, very good. You must be keeping busy, I'm sure. You're still working for a living. See, I don't. I got nothing to do all day.
I've had about a 30-hour
card for video capture. In other words, I want to go right from my and into the PC and do video capture that way. Is it? Are the inexpensive ones $100 or so worth the darn?
Really depends. And what kind of data rate it can support. There's so many different. If it was a toss-up between USB and HDMI can support a much higher data rate.
Well, I'll send you the one I was looking at. You can tell me because I'm not sure I know the differences.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much variability in that. It really depends on the manufacturer. All of my stuff on all my machines, I run Windows because it's for video editing. Every version, beyond that.
What happens when it becomes unsupportable?
Well, because of some really old client stuff that the client still wants occasionally dates to it.
Oh, I didn't know that. On which one now? That's. See, when you mention Windows 98, now think about this now. The kids that are in there.
It was always, everything was a green screen, and some of it, I think in freshman engineering, they touch on it briefly. They're doing it all IBM punch cards over to the data center to have them done. And God forbid that you drop your shoebox.
Well, well, that's when you just drop the program and you do it next.
So yeah, I mean, we live in marvelous times now.
Yeah, but you can still lose your thumb drive.
Indeed.
All right, we're very good, John. Yeah, I'll send you some data on what I was looking at. Southwest kind of Nashville area. I'm not sure they want to say Bellevue is part of Nashville, but it's still in Davidson County, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I thought so. Anyway, good seeing a lot of Davidson County, Bellshire, the whiskey actor. Who else? West, please come in.
Echo Alpha Charlie and your enters.
Well for you?
So far, so good. Finishing up a project. Hopefully have it beta tested here soon. As soon as the paint on the metallic substance dries, we'll be ready to go.
That's good.
Still one more hurdle to get over, but I think in due time. So I'll let you get back at it. I'm going to call tonight. Tell me who won between Navy and Army. I think the last time won.
I saw a blurb on there. I'm pretty sure Navy won, but I can't guarantee
that. Indeed. I know you'll appreciate that. W4EAC. I'll talk to you later.
Well, it's only venue. They have a great time. It's a great rivalry. Good to know.
KM4 Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo.
Hold on a sec.
Lazy day. Thought I'd check in with you before I shut the lights out.
I mean, I remember. It's funny. I'm not saying you're a kid, but when I was a kid, I remember I was young.
And I'll open my eyes at 4 a.m. So y'all start getting sleepy about this time of day.
I was a kid, young, and even when I put the alarm clock on the other side of the room because I turned it off and go back to sleep. In this case, I had to get up, and by that time, getting up and finding the alarm or sleep or whatever. Somebody says you got to get up. Okay, fine. I can just get up, and not a big deal.
Oh yeah, I understand. I gotta have.
Yeah, no, I know the deal. I've known people who they could have 3 alarm clocks. It wouldn't matter. They'd still sleep. In fact, they sleep right through them.
Yep, I understand.
Well, very good, Roger. Roger, where are you located? Very, very good. Yeah, it's interesting when, Nashville, I don't think, you may have heard me say that little statistic I looked up or figured out. If you look at the number as a percentage of the total population. You look up the number of hams in Wilson County, and again, with the per capita, same thing with Rutherford and Williamson and et cetera. You find out per capita has the lowest number of hams. I mean, it's got a lot of hams, but it's still a smaller percentage of the population. Well, some of it's a function of colors, and a lot of people it's just, they don't want, need, or even understand ham. Even if they did, and they're in a condo or a high rise or in a deed restricted area, they wouldn't even consider getting into ham radio, a tower or a big wire antenna, or, there's lots of reasons that people don't. And I think that Davidson, even though it's pretty diverse, I mean, in terms, it's a big county and it's got suburban and rural areas, so to speak, it still has less per capita. And I found.
Yeah, I guess so. It seems like maybe it's the older population.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. I'm sure that's part of it too. And plus, I guess, like I said, there's others that it just wouldn't even occur to me. And I think that some people who live in a rural area, that they wouldn't. In the city, you just walk down the street and ask for help.
That's a shit ratio. Then we would come on in.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's right. Well, actually, we'll go with belt size because those.
Mine's always too tiny to weigh.
Yeah, that's right. All right, Roger, it was good to have you in there. And Roger's in East Nashville. It's Kilo November 4, Zulu Bravo Yankee, Roger in West. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. I'm having a brain freeze here.
I'm all right. You could have asked. But anyway, y'all take care and hope everybody had a good time at breakfast this morning. I know I did, and sorry if the folks that missed it did.
They've been missing out on all the, get on the network.
There you go.
Very good. Okay, Bravo, he's over a couple of miles west of downtown Lebanon. Is there any other late check-ins?
WA.
Out east earlier and an early evening nap, is that what?
Yeah, we've been gone most of the day.
So it makes for a kind of a sleepy day. I took a nap this morning after I miss everybody who doesn't show up. I enjoy going to the breakfast, and I'm glad we do them twice a month. Because thing we do. All right, James. That's James here. He's here in Mount Juliet, Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel, India. Normally at the breakfast, but not this morning. And he's almost always first in on East because he's sleeping. Who else? Anybody else late checking?
KR4AZ.
Hey, how you doing there?
Still had the 2-meter net going on, or if I was gonna have to catch you on the 2-meter sideband.
No, we're just finishing up here, I think.
Well, I'll let you ride along and see if I can't catch you over on the other frequency. Everybody have a good one. Clear.
Romeo 4 Alpha Zulu. He's in Murfreesboro with I was just thinking again, somebody commented some months ago. They said they kind of enjoyed me on the web, here on the. I guess I sometimes make faces or just facial expressions or gestures. Most of them I don't. You found it somewhat entertaining. And I just think about, now that I'm not on camera, I can do anything I want. It's kind of, anybody else late check-in before we move on to the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net? Well, actually, I have to call for the lurkers, sandbaggers, lollygaggers, and the scanner list, the preppers, and the end-time survivalists. Anybody of those categories? And check-in the morning. All righty, we don't have any of those. Let's go over that. We had 27. Pretty huge night for us. What's funny is, as I've learned, kind of just on the slide, I monitor that, and there's a lot of people out there that do scan. I find out do scan. Don't hesitate to jump in, and say hi, introduce yourself. We love to have check-ins. You can see we seemingly have a good time. I think it's a good practice. Anyway, 40. Got it? 240, upper side band. I'm not sure. Don't recall. I think I did. But anyway, when we'll go over to 144.240, upper side band, I'll be there momentarily.
I didn't know you got you a new.
That was a secret.
Hey, I am in need of something.
A non-metallic slinky dipole?
That sounds like a couple of feet of flight line. What gauge?
Oh, fair enough.
So with
We did Simplex net on 144.240, and we'll start in there, Tim. And who else we got, Sal? Terry, who else, Sal? Anybody else, Sal? Okay, over to the east, please. Yeah, I got you in there, Wes. A little low, but a good signal. Who else east, please come in. I shouldn't be surprised. You got a great signal there, Danny, just across the river here from Mount Juliet. Who else north? All right, got you in there, Mark. Good signal. Who else north?
KK.
I don't want you to move that antenna because it's doing too well, Frank. Over to the west, please come in.
KM4YRF.
I got you in there on top of you there. Who was the other station?
November 4, Delta Juliet Tango.
Ah, very good. Which antenna are you using there, Don? Your signal's a little lower than I would expect, but then you don't have everything back up.
What it is.
Huh. And you're using 50 watts?
This is 100 watt. 700.
Oh, wow. You know, it's the signal's just I think it's interesting. Your FM signal comes in so much better than the side.
That is kind of weird. I might not be driving hard enough. I don't know. It looks
How different it is from the FM. Well, very good. Who else? Anybody else? Well, very good. Got you in there, John. Good signal. Who else? Anybody else west or late check-ins? Anybody else west or late check-in? But anyway, it was me in there, and we had Tim, Bill, and Mark, Whiskey Bravo 0, November, Oscar. The weather station, I noticed I said that twice tonight, and Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo, Kilo, Frank there, and Whiskey 4, Alpha, Whiskey Echo, John, Bellevue. Is anybody not hearing any of the stations?
I heard everybody.
Excellent. Yeah, very good. Well, it's much lower than on this than it is on FM. When are you using that radio? But odd though that I'd expected that's
Something. Anybody else get that, or is it just me? Yeah, I thought he was all frequency.
lamps with the magnifier, and I forgot to turn it off, quite honestly.
Yeah, that was it. That got rid of the hum. You stopped talking, and when you took that pause a minute ago, it pulled that hum right up.
Huh? Even
5 hum over here.
Huh? That's odd. Is anybody hearing a hum like that? That's that.
Oh
Who is that other party back there in the background?
That's the KE4 TWA. You sound fine here, but I'm way out here.
Huh? Yeah, because I gained down to about 30, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Come down some more.
Okay, if I can figure out how to do this on my new radio.
What did you buy?
$9.91.
I have the same radio over here.
Ah, okay. I think you might have mentioned that. It's a nice radio.
Yeah, if you hit the M list or the F button at the top, it'll expand the menus, and then just hit the forward. You'll see the mic gain, and you should look at the ALC and just get it to tickle a little bit when you talk.
Here's that. I'm on the mic and I just lowered it to 21.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a different mic than you, Mike, and I'm away from it, so my settings aren't going to help.
No, I just lowered. I was 321 K4PEW.
Yeah, that's much better.
Awesome. Very different. I think. Well, I don't think you were heard, but well, I took off I had it needs 0 mic read.
That I can completely.
About and things, and I would just, it's a learning experience for me to know, and we get together on the air so we can actually tell people, hey, listen, you got issues, you got problems, and it helps to understand what the heck's going on.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Well, I guess since you have a 991, we need to now before FMNet.
Well, I'm going to reiterate what I got on the air. Somebody said, hey, you got that because of the digital. I said, no, I did not buy it for the digital. It's really just an extra to me. I was on it. I got on it with Dennis and Michael hour and a half the other day, just messing around with it. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not even going to Simplex FM that I'm trying to figure out the advantage of going Simplex.
Cat without hitting the net. So and I figured there'd be all of about 3.
Well, it's not really icons, you know. I said truthfully, because that's the only way, because I don't even hear there. I think in this area,
I didn't know there was one.
The K4 CPO, and I don't know what happened to it. On left, I said, well,
with the fusion stuff a little. Hear somebody here locally, and I never got a call sign now on the crossing, and I don't know who it was, and I'll advise you.
Yeah, well, I better close on that portion on that and stop the stream here on YouTube. Trim it out.